Welcome back, everybody. Sarcasm Speaks, Jared and Bob here. We were just having a sidebar conversation before we hit record, and we were like, fuck it, let's just start. Let's start going. So basically, we're just talking shit about Thanksgiving, right? And
which I'm one to do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, hey, it's not like, oh my God, we're talking shit about something.
Yeah, go figure. And
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, if you've been listening at any point in time. So I'll make it brief. I'll summarize. Turkey. I know you hate turkey. Turkey sucks. Like, I tend to agree. Like, if it wasn't a Thanksgiving tradition, there would be no purpose of serving turkey. There's so many better things. And someone combated me on that this week. Because I was like, oh, like, just fucking stop. People are like, I like the turkey. I'm like, what? What is there to like about it?
Yeah. First of all, you're lying.
Like, and it's like, and then that's the thing is, like, I'm poking and prodding for them to tell me, like, dude, it's a holiday. Holidays are supposed to be special, like special occasions.
Right.
So you're telling me that you would rather eat turkey over prime rib or another cut of beef over a porchetta or a pork rib roast. Like, if you like lamb, like, dude, turkey's fucking down there on the options.
Yeah.
And so as I'm also one to do, I start grilling the kids. And I'm like, I go, favorite Thanksgiving food, and be right. Like, what do you mean be right? I go, don't give me the wrong answer. And one kid's like, stuffing. And everyone else is like, no, stuffing's gross, whatever. And I'm like, and I go, I like stuffing. I go, I do it well.
I think stuffing might be the main attraction for me.
Bad stuffing is bad.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're making like stovetop, like out of the box.
Stovetop is actually
well, fine. Yeah, it's fine because it's seasoned and it tastes good.
Fine.
Right.
When you fuck up stovetop, you've got a problem.
That's, yeah.
This is like chef reactions type level shit. Now, genuinely, or I guess more generally, mashed potatoes are pretty good. You can fuck them up. I think it's easy to fuck them up. So I've always been picky about mashed potatoes.
Are you a chunky or smooth?
Smooth.
I like a little bit of chunk in my mashed potato.
So I've actually made mashed potatoes the last couple weeks. I found a non-dairy half and half.
Oh.
That is not made with almond or coconut milk because I don't want it to taste like anything.
Right. So
it's a neutral half and half. So that's the other thing too, is it's not like almond milk, which is effectively like murky water.
Yeah.
So the last couple weeks I've actually made it. And you know, I just kind of I hammer on that thing and stir it a few times. And if there's a couple chunks, I'm not freaking out, but I mash my shit up pretty good. Now, they're not whipped. I don't make whipped. I don't have time or patience for that.
Right.
Plus, the whipping process just makes me think that they're going to come out cold. And then, like, how am I heating mashed potatoes back up? Like, is that like an oven situation?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's always like a fucking doomsday timer with mashed potatoes. Like, you have them and they're ready.
Yeah.
But it's like everything else has got to be ready because when those hit the plate, time to eat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's either like ice fucking cold or there's nothing worse.
Nothing worse.
Ice cold mashed potatoes.
Even like if you can tell that they've been sitting like a minute too long.
Yeah.
It's just like,
yeah.
God.
Yeah. It's tough because you would think that like that should be the easiest thing about it, right?
To get right.
Yeah, and it's not.
No, it's
you just have to like mash potato. Literally, you mash potatoes.
Couldn't be easier, dude. Like I thought like when my mother used to make them, like they were like remotely difficult. They're not.
Yeah. Nope. Pretty fucking easy.
Nope. I mean, so I made mine. I did the hardest part of mine is I roasted garlic for the first time. I don't know if you've ever done that. That's super fucking easy. Cut a quarter of the garlic off, throw it in tin foil, olive oil on top of the thing, and just bake it.
Yeah, put it in the oven.
Easy
I haven't
money.
done it, but I've seen it done.
Easy money.
Yeah.
It's a little messy to get out, but
Yeah.
so easy, and that's good because then the garlic like isn't raw. So
Mhm.
I did garlic, probably pecorino. No, I forget what I did. Either I got Parmigiano Reggiano and I got Pecorino Romano in the fridge, like the real stuff, not the fucking fake shit.
Yeah. You have to grate it yourself
Yep.
from the block. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm being a
Yeah.
fucking so I've been a little bit of a snob about that lately. And the reason I did
I
it,
think that's the way to go.
the reason I did it is there is an so there's so the reason I did it was when I was making carbonara with those cheeses that were already grated, they weren't melting correctly
Mhm.
and they weren't mixing in. Like they were coming out grainy.
Right.
So I'm like, no, I have to get a grater because it's not coming out with the consistency that I want.
Right.
So then when you buy the blocks and you pay attention to what you're doing, you're actually buying the real thing. Like when
Yeah.
you buy grated Parmesan in a bag, that is not Parmigiano Reggiano.
Right.
Like Parmigiano Reggiano, you can taste like the real thing and the not real thing.
Right.
And same with Pecorino, even though I think you can get away with it a little bit more in the graded options, but it doesn't mix right. So that's why I went for the blocks lately. And it's just like so much. It's so much. It tastes significantly different.
Yeah. I think it's weird. I want to say it lasts longer, right? And like maybe it does, maybe it doesn't really, but maybe it's the flavor lasts longer
Well, there is
when
a
it's in a
flavor.
block. When it's in
So
a
it's
block.
like, yeah. So I mean, if you get graded, like just in the bags, whatever, like you can tell the pecorino, it's a little bit sharper. It tastes like slightly saltier, fine. But like Parmesan just tastes like cheese.
Yeah.
Like this is just like cheese. Like an actual like cut or block of Parmigiano Reggiano, like you can tell it's like a little bit salty. It does have like a little bit of a nutty taste to it.
Mhm.
And it just tastes better. Like you can tell.
Yeah.
So I actually like kind of forgot like how good that shit tastes like off the block. So yeah, I'm a block guy again. Hadn't been for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, I really do think it's the way to go, right? Like if you have the ability, right? Because I think it comes down to almost like a physics thing, right? Because it's the surface area that's um exposed to air, right? So like
Yeah, so it
the
wouldn't
more
oxidize
surface,
as
yeah.
quick.
So if it's pre-graded and pre-shredded, it's going to degrade. You're going to lose a little bit of that flavor, right? So I think that's what I was trying to say about like it lasts longer, like the taste is different and the taste lasts
Yeah.
longer.
And then when you grate it yourself, it grates like a little bit. I don't know if finer's not the right word, but like thinner.
Yeah,
So that when you do mix it into whatever you're mixing it into, it mixes well. Like it doesn't
right,
stay grainy like sand.
right, right.
So anyway, mashed potatoes.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I do like a little bit of chunk in it. I like to know that my mashed potatoes were a whole potato not that long ago.
Yeah.
Now maybe it's because when I grew up, like my mom never did that really, except for
Skin on or
holidays.
skin off?
Doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
I'm not mad if there's a little bit of skin in there.
I'm a
Um,
skin off because I don't know what the right amount to leave is
yeah,
there.
that's what I mean. Like I don't go like with the whole fucking skin on. Like I'm
No, okay,
like
yeah, because
if there's a little bit of skin in there, that's fine with me.
yeah, I'm skin
Um,
off.
but I
I don't have
think
a
it.
peeler though, so I'm using the fucking paring
Oh
knife.
shit, that's safe.
Oh,
Um,
come
no,
on.
I know it's fine.
It's a
It's fine.
paring knife.
Yeah.
It's a
Um,
paring knife, and I know what I'm doing.
right. So what I was gonna say was I think when I was growing up, my mom never really made mashed potatoes like the real way. It was always like out of a box or out of a bag. So like except for holidays, like when holidays
Yeah,
came around, she did, but
it's tough. It's
it
got
was
that
like
weird taste
instant.
to it,
Yeah. So
but
for
it's like
me,
they're super smooth, but
they're too smooth and like the
yeah.
soupy. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Like I don't know. It's not that I
Well,
didn't like it either when my mom was making it. Like I ate it when I was a kid, but like something about I think I connect like too smooth and soupy with fake.
yeah.
So I like a little bit of chunk to know that, like, okay, this isn't reconstituted fucking freeze-dried mashed potatoes.
Yeah, whatever that shit is.
Yeah,
Can't even leave potatoes on a fucking counter without them turning green.
I know.
Yet you can just add water to a box and have mashed potato. Like
It's basically the military fucking freeze-dried meals.
pretty much.
The MREs.
Yeah, so make real mashed potatoes. Don't fuck them up.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get right. Just don't fuck them up.
Yeah.
And season the fucking things, will you? Please.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
That's
a
another
thing.
one. Bland mashed potatoes. It's
It's like
it
where's the salt
only
and pepper?
needs salt and pepper. That's it.
Yeah,
I'm
where's the
not
salt and
asking you to
pepper?
put fucking ground mustard and
Yeah. Yeah.
what is it, mace or mage? I don't even know what the fuck. Like, I'm not
You
asking
can
for
mace
exotic
my
shit.
eyes.
Just salt and pepper. That's all it needs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, up in the Northeast, we fucked this part up. No one eats mac and cheese for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's
Unless
dumbest shit ever. Well, I mean, we do, but
we do, because Datsgiving fucking knows what it's doing.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, one of the kids, I go, all right, so here's an even better question. I go, what's the worst? I go, this is important too. And one was the cranberry sauce.
Yep.
Which people still, I like, I'm sorry, you guys are disgusting. Like, that shit is Jello. Like,
Yeah,
that is it.
it's
And like,
not-
people they want like I go, like, the worst part is it gets in some households, it gets served whole
yeah.
with the lines from the can,
Yeah, and you slice
and
it.
people are looking for that. They
Yeah.
want that.
Yeah.
Like, they don't trust it if it doesn't have the lines. Now, have you ever had a fresh cranberry sauce?
I've been around one, but I don't like cranberries, so
I was going to say, so it ultimately, it was still like too bitter for me, or I guess tart. I don't know, however you want to.
it looks like a pie filling,
Yeah, a little bit.
basically. Like,
Yeah, the one I tried was.
yeah.
And again, it's like the cranberries, they're just strong, man. Like, they're very, very tart. Bitter might not be the right word.
Yeah, there's a reason why, like, when you buy cranberry juice, there's like 72 grams of sugar
Yeah, and I think
in
even
that because plain cranberry juice tastes like fucking shit.
And I think that one I had was made with orange juice. So it's like they tried to sweeten it, and it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
man, this is still too much.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm out on that.
Yep.
And in the can, I don't get it. Like,
Yeah, I don't get it either.
it's Jello or jelly. Like, that's
Yeah.
all you're eating. You're eating like fake adult candy.
Yeah. Yep. That's all it is.
Like shit that's served in nursing homes to people who don't have any teeth
Who
or
don't have
fucking
teeth.
taste
Yeah.
buds.
Yeah.
That's it. And people like look for that. I'm like, that's the
Yeah.
fucking wrong answer, man. That is not real food.
Yeah. Oh, where's the cranberry sauce?
Ugh.
Oh, I think I left it in the trash.
Actually, I intentionally bought some
Yeah.
and threw it in the trash.
Yeah.
Green bean casserole, we've done that.
Yeah, no, fuck, blow that up. I hope fucking to call back from the last episode. I hope Israel sends a missile and fucking blows up green bean
Frenches
casserole
or whatever.
Yeah.
And I had to explain to it. I had to explain what it was to some of the kids. Like, what's that one? I go, well, you take these green beans out of a can.
Yeah.
And then you take cream of mushroom soup also out of a can. And then you take some French fried onion rings. Those come in a can too.
Yep.
And you basically mix it all together and bake it and call it food.
Yeah.
They're like, that sounds disgusting. I go, it sure is.
It is.
And they're like, almost anything that comes out of a can is disgusting. By the way, these are middle school kids. So like, if you like, sometimes you can ask children and they give you the simplest answers to most of these problems.
Yeah.
Now, part of it's tough because it's like they don't like stuffing, and it's like, I'd argue that
You just haven't had a good stuff.
you're wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, you can tell too, like, it should say something when the kids don't want to eat anything at Thanksgiving.
Right.
Now, they'll eat mashed potatoes. They would eat mac and cheese. I'm guessing that they would eat like real food. if it
Yeah.
wasn't fucking turkey served
Yeah.
in a way that they don't want to fucking eat it.
Right.
Like no
Nice
shit.
and dry.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, we didn't have to get into anything more, but I'm like, I was just thinking about it too, because so I'm back to going out to eat this year. Um, for I don't know how long it's been, but since my grandmother couldn't really like do,
Yeah.
we hadn't been going out. I think 2019 when I went to the casino, that was the last time we went out. Her idea.
Yeah.
um, so obviously, like, I mean, we're missing some people now, but like everyone can get out and about, so we're not doing food at my
Right.
grandmother's. We're going out back to a restaurant.
Yeah.
And they're so I don't know what if they're gonna have their full menu, but I went through their full menu and I'm like, man, if they have like a fucking Thanksgiving dinner, it'll be by far the worst thing they're offering.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's Cafe Escadrille in Burlington.
Oh yeah, that place is really fucking good.
Yeah, so that's where we're going. And I'm like, I know they'll have something. I don't know if they'll have prime rib. I don't know if they'll have ribeyes. Like
Yeah.
there'll be something though.
Yeah.
And I ain't fucking getting turkey. That's for fucking
So
damn
me
sure.
and my mom used to do the Redstone Grill. No, is it the Redstone Grill in Burlington? It's on Third Ave. You know that new development in Burlington?
Is that where the Capitol Grill is?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know
It's
what
where
the
King's is.
I don't know what King's is in Burlington.
So it's Third Ave. So it's like if you're it kind of depends on where the fuck you're going, but if you're coming off of Route 3A from 95 and the
Yeah,
Burlington Mall is on your right,
Burlington Mall's on my right.
yeah.
Oh,
And
okay. Yeah, okay.
then
Ish.
like across the street, there's like the Barnes and Noble, and there's like the other random shit is on your left. If you just keep going
Is
straight,
that 3A?
yeah, I think so.
The back of the mall.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's the way I used to go. All right, so the mall's on my right and
The
Barnes and Noble's
malls
on my
are,
left. Yeah.
yep. And then you get to a set of lights. If you go
Yeah, there's a
straight
Golf Galaxy right there.
through those set of lights, that takes you up to Third Ave. Or you can take a
Uh,
left. So you can take a left and go down. I think there's a Wegmans over there too. It's like a whole, it was, I mean, I say new. It might be like
it's not
10,
new
it
anymore.
might be like 10 to 15 years old at this point, but it's relatively new development in that area. But yeah, we used to go there and they had prime rib.
Yep.
And it was like it was a buffet, if you will.
Ooh, did all the Buffets die?
And I buffeted 2 prime ribs
Yeah,
because that's what you do when there's prime rib available.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we used to do a Thanksgiving buffet in Cambridge like years and years ago. They stopped doing it, but yeah, I'd always go to the carving station and they would always have prime rib, and I'm like, why would I eat turkey?
Yeah. Yeah.
Shit sucks.
Yeah. I just have 1 plate full of prime rib. What is the maximum amount of prime rib you're allowed to
Yeah,
give
how much
me?
will you give me?
That's
I'll
what I'll
give you
take.
this, and if I come back, yeah, just come back. Okay. Yeah, so we're going back out, which is nice because now I'm back to like the original purpose of Datsgiving was because my family always went out, so I
Right.
wouldn't eat Thanksgiving food.
Right.
Plus, it's like, in the most cocky of ways possible, it's like I know I can do it well.
Right.
So that's partially why I want actually, and it's in the very first one was in college. So that's like another reason why I did it. It was like a thing that we could do there. And it was fucking chaos, but because it's like nothing was equipped for what we were trying to do.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
no ovens, no fridges, no houses, no tables, no nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did it twice. Once was when I was in grad school. um but yeah, I'm like so excited to not eat any of that.
Yeah. Yeah. We actually got, by we, I mean I went and bought a New York roast, a strip roast from the
Yep.
meat bar. Shout
Yep.
out to the meat bar, plug them, downtown North Attleboro Butcher Shop. I think I texted you guys and I was like, there's no fucking way, but in the off chance that you're around North Attleboro, they're doing roast at $10.99 a pound. So I bought one, and I had them cut it to a 4-pound roast and then cut the rest into steaks.
Yep.
So I actually had a steak for dinner tonight. It was fucking delicious. But so I got a 4-pound New York strip roast for Thursday. And then I think my mom bought like a turkey breast because Amy likes turkey, or she's more of the traditional,
Gotcha.
like
It's Thanksgiving.
it's Thanksgiving. I want to eat turkey. Where I'm like, yeah, turkey sucks. I don't give a shit.
Almost doing it out of fucking
Yeah.
rebellion at this point.
Basically. I mean, I would say 90% of the things I do are out of rebellion anyway, just of all aspects of my life. But
Yeah, it's really just to be a fucking asshole.
It should be a surprise to nobody.
Yeah. Well, even with that too, it's like not for nothing. Like I think prime rib should be for Christmas. Dude, I think we should just move porchetta into fucking Thanksgiving. Like,
yeah, I'd be down. I'd support that.
now I'm the type of person where I would eat prime rib for Thanksgiving, Festivus, Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day. Like,
oh yeah,
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, don't care. I will eat all of the prime rib.
That's how I am. But most people aren't like that. I got you. Fine.
I would eat a steak every
problem.
single day for dinner if I could. I mean, I did for a while. I did. I mean, when we lived in Mansfield, I had steak almost every night. And then when Amy was pregnant and going through her like food disgusts me, the only thing I can eat is like cereal and granola and bagels and shit. I literally ate steak every night. That was it. I was like, yeah, this is great. I'm fucking eating steak.
Turf and turf.
Yeah, I had turf and turf every fucking night. It was incredible.
I think we need to move the porchetta in. I need to make a porchetta too. The only problem is the whole pork belly's so fucking big.
I know. It's like 12 pounds.
It's so big. Like, what the fuck am I gonna do with the 12-pound roast?
Yeah, I have no idea.
It's like 4 fucking instances of me cooking too much food.
Yeah.
I guess I could give it away, but like then people need to cook it like kind of fast.
Yeah. And I mean, you can have them cut it, right? Like you can have them butcher it to like bring it to...
I don't think Costco does that.
Oh.
I think you're leaving with that fucker whole.
Yeah.
No, but then it won't wrap and roll and...
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you could, but then it won't.
Yeah, it won't
do what it
take
needs to
shape.
do. Yeah.
Figure it out. Could be you could be getting a porchetta.
Yeah.
Raw, of course.
Yeah. Here you go.
Yep, cook it yourself.
So, yeah. Thanksgiving food sucks. In general.
It's too bad too, because when you compare the holidays, Thanksgiving should be the good one, but the menu just lacks.
Yeah, I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. I think from a purely I don't know, a holiday, this is going to sound fucking retarded, but from a holiday standpoint, I think Thanksgiving is the best of the holidays, right? Like Christmas is dumb because everyone expects you to spend money and it's like, oh, give me gifts, or I got you a gift. That's fucking dumb. It's the dumbest shit ever. Like it's for little kids, right? Christmas is for little kids. Easter is fucking lame. That's
Easter
another one for little
sucks.
kids. Like that's whatever.
That's the thing. Easter's a Sunday and Monday's not a holiday.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
There is no holiday.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Like if you don't get a day off from work, like it's fucking useless.
Right. 100% agree.
Never
so,
mind,
like,
it's only religion. Like,
yeah.
cool.
So
man.
like Thanksgiving is the best holiday of the 3 major holidays. But the menu, right? The
menu
food
generally sucks.
Is the worst.
Well, that's why we handle it ourselves.
Yeah. 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 Like if someone asked me like, hey, what's your favorite holiday? I'd probably say Thanksgiving. I mean, partially
after
because
Leif Erikson Day and Festivus.
Well,
not necessarily in that order.
Of the 3, assuming they're talking about of the 3 major, because if someone just asked me what my favorite holiday was, and I just said Leif Erikson Day, they'd probably look at me like I need to be fucking committed, which I mean, it's probably not far off.
Again, are they wrong?
No. But other like of the three majors, right? Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter. Thanksgiving is my favorite, right?
I literally
Partially because of what I just said, and partially because we like cook actual food for
so I literally tell the kids because again, they can't win with me like at all.
it.
So in the level of high holidays is uh
I mean,
Master Sunday,
yes, I would say Festivus.
Festivus, Leif Erikson Day. Used to be 3rd of July. I don't think we've really done much 3rd of July lately. That used to be pretty it used to make for a pretty shitty 4th of July,
Yeah. Well,
which is
that's the
funny.
play, right? Because no one realizes like you go out and you do all the damage on the 3rd of July, so you don't work on the
Yes.
4th. Everyone that goes out
Yes.
and parties on the 4th, they have
If
to
you
go
have to
back to
work the
work on the
5th,
5th. And that
do you know
sucks.
back-to-back years, I was ready to vomit all over the Stop and Shop fucking service desk on back-to-back 5th of Julys.
Yeah.
Like, I was so hungover 2 consecutive years that one of the times I went in at 1, and I must have only been 21 years old. I went in at 1 o'clock, couldn't fucking stand up, took my break at 1:30 because someone ordered me food, ate, and then like just existed until 6 o'clock. Like, no, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's miserable.
Yeah, so Festivus, Datsgiving, Leif Erikson Day, 3rd of July, and
We did Arbor Day one year in Mansfield.
uh, if I miss one. Festivus, Leif Erikson, Datsgiving, Master Sunday. Oh, and 3rd of July. Yeah, 5.
Yeah.
No, I literally tell them that too. And they're like, what? What's Datsgiving? You go, that's my take on Thanksgiving. Like, what do you do? I go, I cook food well and you don't have to deal with family, just friends.
It's the best aspect of all Thanksgiving.
Literally, it's the
Yeah.
like, and that's the thing is I hate being right about this, but it's like I'm so fucking right.
Yeah.
Like even Christmas, like if I had like a house like that could actually like serve and host people, I would do both holidays at my house. And like you can come or you don't have to. I don't care. But
Right.
like I'm doing it because like Michaela and I, we're not splitting, but like we've got like double duty here. And it's
Right.
like so we're gonna do like something on Christmas Eve. Or actually the way this year's lining up, I'm gonna convince my family. We're gonna go out on Saturday, which is Festivus. We're gonna go out lunch on Saturday because all the restaurants will be open. We don't have to worry about who's closed or who's whatever. Just
Right.
go out Saturday. But then we're gonna have to do something Christmas Eve for Sunday, something Christmas Day, and it's like that's 3 straight days of like running around to all these different places and eating like hell. It's like,
Yeah.
how the fuck do you do this?
The best part about having a newborn this year is
Yeah,
I
you
can tell
can.
everyone to fuck right off.
Yeah,
They're like, yeah, I'll see you next year.
yeah, you're back to it next year. But yeah, you get a
Yeah.
1 year leeway.
Yeah. Yeah. We get a pass this year. But even then, still, like next year with a 1 year old, like I'll just fucking have something here and you can come here or not. You know what I mean? Like you said, like one of those like come or don't. I don't
Yeah.
care, but
Oh,
like
I'm hosting this.
I'm
It's
not
like,
doing like the whole song and
yeah,
dance, right?
it's like, oh, I'm hosting this year. Oh, well, this person said they were gonna host. Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
done. Now, for some people, hosting's a massive pain in the ass because then you got to cook, you got to clean. People show up, they don't leave. Like, they bother you. Like what? Because when you invite them in, you can't kick them out. Like you
Right.
can move people along, you can set the vibe, but like you can't actively say like, okay, go time. Like
Right. Right.
you would like, nope, that you can't do that. You invited people over for the holiday. That's how that works.
Yeah. I've
Now
got a
you can start doing the dishes. No, well, again, you're just an asshole. Like that, like that's how that works. Is if you invite the family over,
right.
they and they're like, oh well, maybe like whatever. It's like, oh well, you can come by after. Because again, like if you're gonna be splitting whatever, then you're just straight up being an asshole. Like you're intentionally being an asshole by doing that. Because when you
Yeah.
host, there are some concessions you have to make.
On the vein of being an asshole, I've got a potential unpopular budding opinion about this whole like holiday family thing. Um,
That family is the worst part of any holiday.
yeah, yeah, I agree.
That's not a hot take.
But no, I
Oh,
think it's I think I don't really understand the hype around it, right? So this could be a product of me of proximity, right? Of like I basically live in Rhode Island and all of my family lives in New Hampshire. So they're quite literally 2 states away. Um, but like we don't really I'm speaking in generalities and then like my family versus like a normal thing, right? So like I don't see my family really ever. Basically. Like I see
yeah.
my mom I talk to my mom pretty frequently and I see her, at this point like every other week cuz she'll come down with the baby and stuff. But like I never see my family ever. I might see them once a year, like and sporadically, right? Like I'll see like this aunt and uncle once a year, and then this one like maybe twice. Like on average, I probably see my family like once a year. Again, maybe that's just a me thing. Maybe it's a proximity thing. Um, but I guess like the whole what's the big fucking deal? Like, oh, we have to go see your grandmother. Like, and again, I don't have any grandparents, right? So I take this for what it's worth, right? But I'm saying in generalities, when someone was like, oh, we have to go see your grandmother, or we have to go see your grandfather or something, and it's like, do we? Because I can see them on a Tuesday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And again, that this is me personally, right? Like, or like I just fucking hung out again. I'm also an only child. So anyone watching or listening, you have all
Yeah.
these things that are adding up here. But like if I had a sibling, right, that lived not that far away, like I can go hang out with my sister on a fucking Thursday night, right? Like I don't need a holiday. Be like, oh well, I have to go see my sister. No, I'll just fucking see her on Saturday. Or like I was just with her on Monday. You know what I mean? Like our kids played fucking T-ball together, right? Like whatever scenario that someone may have. Like I guess I just don't understand the whole because like to what I'm saying is like you're in your guys' case, right? Where you have to do the hopping around and
Yeah.
it's pretty common, it's pretty frequent, right? Like a lot of people have to do the hopping, like, oh well, we have to go see this person, we have to go see that person. Do we? Right? Because like if they live close and you see them all the time, if you don't see them on Thanksgiving, like is it the end of the world that you'll just see them the following Monday when you pick your kids up from school or something? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
From
Again,
talking to so from obviously I get to crowdsource all of my issues with lots of people.
mhm.
I think somehow like some people like seeing parts of their family.
Bleh.
I've always hated it. So um I've always viewed it, especially lately, as like an obligation on 3 times a year. And I still feel that way. Like even like, even with like, my father and my grandmother, it's like I'm not like it sucks, but like I'll help my mother out when I can.
Right.
And like there was a day where I was gonna go help her out with something, and it's like I called her, I'm like, I cannot get out of here. She goes, yeah, no big deal.
Right.
Like
Right.
she goes, yeah, if you can't make it, you can't make it. I go, yeah. I go, like, I'm still work. Like, I go, I thought I was gonna be done working 2 hours ago. I go, I'm still going, and my email is still blowing up. She
Yeah.
goes, yeah, who cares?
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't go. I'm like, okay. It's not like that with everyone. It's like I got one client in particular where it's like the in-laws are a pain in the ass. So the mother-in-law, the father-in-law, and a sister, unmarried, no kids, nothing.
Hmm.
And they are just like fucking relentless. Like to the point, it's almost like to the point. And I've heard other people say this because my family's always been small. Like it's always been very small, and we've never had that like, oh well, we have to go see whoever. It's like no, we don't.
Right.
And there was even times where it's like my grandparents, I didn't see them on Thanksgiving because we went to Cambridge to go out with that side of the family, and they didn't want to go out. They're like, oh, you don't go out on Thanksgiving. Okay, see you at Christmas. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
that's how that went. So I guess I was lucky on that front. But yeah, some people they're just like they will concede to these because some people are just so insufferable. They're like, it's like, oh, we're gonna host Thanksgiving this year. It's like, oh, well, actually, we were gonna go do whatever. It's like, well, last year you did Christmas at that place and you did Christmas Eve at this other place, and we came to you for Thanksgiving, so we're doing Thanksgiving this year. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
Yeah.
we're doing whatever. No, we're doing Thanksgiving this year. You never come to us. It's always like we always come last. It's like, oh my fucking God. All right, we'll go see it. Like, but that's the problem is the concession with people who are
Right.
insufferable.
Right.
Because not everyone, because different client. He goes early on, I figured out, he goes, there's a lot of your family. He goes, you need to cut them out of the fucking equation. He goes, all they're gonna do is drag you down.
Yeah.
He goes, all they're going to do is annoy you. They don't help you. They don't make you happier. He goes, and people aren't ready to do it. They don't want to cut these people out of the equation.
Right.
He goes,
I would imagine
there's
again.
people I haven't, he goes, I haven't spoken to people in 15 years.
Yeah. Cause
He
I
goes,
mean, you
and I
don't need
never
them.
want to speak to him again.
You don't need to. Right. Like, I don't know. I say it all the time. Like, I got enough shit to deal with, like my own shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to go see fucking Uncle Larry that I haven't seen in 7 years. Like, I don't care, you know? Um, and so I was going to say too, was like the, I would imagine again, as coming as an only child here, I would imagine there's also the, like sibling bullshit too, when it comes to like, well, I host this one, you host that one, you do this and I do that. And like the rotating of holidays between siblings could also be potentially a thing, which
Yeah, it's just
again, I'm glad I don't have any of
it's
those
it
for that
it always
reason.
comes down to
But I feel like there's no winning in that scenario, right? Like someone's always going to be like, "Well, I do this, and you should do that, and
it
I do
it
this." And
it
last
comes
year, right? Like you said, last year we went there, and
yeah.
we had to go to you. So now this year you should come to me. And it's like, I don't know. How about you just fucking do your own thing, and then if we can make it, we'll make it, and if not, if it's not, you know what I mean? Like it's, I don't know.
Well, it's the same, and this is the thing. Like most people don't want to admit because it's like, oh, well, it's family. It's like, well, hey, coming from a guy that doesn't have family, I can fucking see from the outside, and like you could argue, oh, well, you don't know what it's like. Yeah, but I have
Right?
no fucking bias here because I can see from the outside. The same way that we shit on people all the time for being assholes or cunts or idiots. Guess what? Those people are in your family too
Yeah, yeah.
because they're people,
Right, right.
and it happens.
Yeah, it's fine. Like it is what it is, right? Like,
And that's the problem. Like there's plenty of people like they've got a system down and it works. Like, hey, Thanksgiving, I do Thanksgiving. That's what I do. Like, I do that one. You come here,
right.
period. Oh, brother, he couldn't make it this year. He's going to the in-laws. Wish he could be here, but you know what? I get it.
Yeah,
Oh my God, what a fucking take.
right.
Like, I'll see him another time. Wow.
Yeah.
What a fucking crazy response.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it comes down to the individuals. Like there's certain individuals, they just suck, man. And like they just make your life a living hell. Cause any client I know that has like negative family experiences, it's because one side of the family sucks or someone in the family sucks. Like,
Right.
or it's like, oh, oops, grandma's still alive. We got to go see grandma. It's like, oh no. Like we got to go to grandma, but grandma doesn't cook anymore. It's like, it's a whole thing. So then it's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, now the three grandma's three kids need to divide it up and they all have kids. And it's like,
Yeah.
this is nuts. Are the Chinese places open?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like even thinking back though too, like before my grandmother died, like I would just go see her randomly, right? Like I was in grad school, right? She died, I think she died in 2015. Um, so I was in college and grad school, so it could be like, oh, I'm going to shoot home for the weekend, or like, I have no class on Friday, so like I'll just come back. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh, it's Christmas. I have to go to the
Yeah.
house. So it's like I'll go the day before or the day after, or like I'll see you the next time I come back. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those, I don't know.
Well, I
I
don't,
feel like
again,
people
dude,
get overly sensitive about holidays and shit too. And it's like, is it really that big of a fucking deal? Right? Like
you know what? It to some people it is. And it's like, again, I'll never understand it because I'm fucking miserable on holidays anyway. So it's like,
yeah, I mean, I'm miserable
true, I'm miserable,
365 days
but
out of the year. So,
like at holidays especially, I'm just like, there's nothing enjoyable about this. But it's because all it does is all it fucking does is makes me do all the things I hate. Run around like a fucking dickhead.
yep,
Go to all these different places.
yep,
Like I just like it's not like it's like on a day off, it's like that's not what I want to do.
right, right.
It's actually almost more work than going to work.
Yeah, I think I would rather just go to work.
Because it's like even so like I was talking
Maybe
to
I'll pick up a retail job.
like
Oh,
I
sorry,
was talking
can't
to
go to any holidays. I gotta
so
work.
one of my guys today, and I know in the past, like he's like this is what he does. He told me that he would go to New York. He has a house there.
Mhm.
He would no, wait a minute. He would no, this is when his parents lived in New York. He would drive 3 fucking hours, go pick up his parents, bring them to his house in Massachusetts.
Oh
They would
God,
do the holiday. He would drive them back, stay the
yeah,
night.
no, 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 thanks.
No, not a fucking chance.
Nope, nope.
Like, no way. My math's off on that.
The
It was 6 hours of driving.
yeah,
Oh, so it was an hour and a half out back, hour and a half out back. It was 6 hours of driving. That's why my math sucked. He would drive an hour and a half, pick them up, bring them back. They
yep.
would do the holiday, drive them out, bring them back. I go, there's not a chance I would ever do that. Zero, none. Ma, if you're listening,
Yeah,
we're in trouble, but you're not listening. I go, if you're ever an hour and a half, I ain't picking you up. Like,
yeah.
not happening.
Like we'll figure out something else to do.
Anything else.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. Because he was even like, oh, for Christmas, he goes, why don't you just pick your mother up and go to the North End? I go, that sounds like the worst idea I can ever fucking think of.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Saturday before Christmas.
I can't think of anything I would rather less do.
So I'm gonna leave Milton. I'm gonna drive to Medford. So past the North
through
End.
Boston. Wave
Through
to
Boston.
the North End as
Wait.
you drive by.
Pick her up. Go somewhere that she doesn't want to go.
Yeah.
To drive to the North End, a place I don't want to drive.
Right.
To then
Have to
do our thing.
park in Government Center and walk over. Because you can't park in the North End.
To do our thing.
Or you gotta
So
take the train.
I can then drive back to Medford.
Yeah.
And then sit in traffic driving back to Milton.
Yeah. I think that's the funny thing too, just as like a side note. People are like, oh, why don't you just take a trip into the North End? Oh, okay. So you want me to go park in Government Center and then walk to the North End? Because anyone that's been to the North End before knows you don't park there. Any parking that is available there is for residents only. So like even if there was a spot open, because residents can't even get spots open, even if there was a spot available, it's going to be a resident sticker. So you have to go park in Government Center, which for anyone that's not familiar with Boston is like at least a 10-minute walk, roughly, depending on what part of the North End you want to go to. And, you know, in December, January, February up here too, again, if you're not familiar with this area, it gets pretty fucking cold.
No, it's warm because it's right on the ocean. Sea
Yeah.
breeze.
Yeah. The sea breeze keeps it warm.
Yeah, it's warm.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, that's exactly what I want to do is go drive to Government Center, park my car, pay $65 to park my car in the garage, and then walk 10 minutes in the fucking 27 degrees over to the North End to walk around to do what?
Eventually, we would probably eat.
Well, yeah, but like,
I think I'm gonna have to pick her up at 7 a.m.
yeah, that's another thing about the North End. I'm just gonna rip on it right now. It was like, oh, you go to the North End. What the fuck are you gonna do in the North End? If you're from from Boston, though, like you're not gonna go to the Old North Church. Like you're gonna go to a restaurant, of which there are like 75, right? So it's not like you're gonna go, oh, I'm gonna start at Luca, and then I'm gonna go to Trattoria Luigi's, and then I'm gonna go to fucking Strega, and then I'm gonna go to fucking Giovanni's. Like that's not how it works. There's 75 restaurants. You're gonna pick one of them, and that's where you're gonna eat. And then you're gonna go to one of two dessert places, either Mike's or Modern Pastry, and that's it. Then you're gonna walk back to the garage and drive home. There's nothing to do in the North End if you're like going to hang out, right? Because it's literally all restaurants, Mike's and Modern, and then there's like touristy shit that if you're from here, you're not going to do.
I ain't going.
Yeah.
That's the other thing too. Is he's like, oh, he goes, yeah, you do it. And I'm like, well, you've driven 6 hours in a day, so I'm like, I'm not talking to the same type of person here.
Yeah. Yeah.
He also went on a 12. Did I talk about the brewery trip he went on?
No.
He was doing like I think his son eloped, so they were doing a wedding ceremony in New York, and like they were like hosting at the house. So he wanted beer for the ceremony, whatever, and they're all like beer snob people. He literally left New York at 7 a.m. He arrived back in New York at 7 p.m. because he drove to 5 different breweries in Vermont.
Jesus. That's wild. Yeah, I would never do that.
I never would either. Like, I don't like beer that much, and I fucking would just go buy it at the one store down the street. So that's the thing is like, because this again, we're like when we're talking about like what people are willing to do, like this is like, so I hope people listening go, that's fucking crazy. Well, this is why,
right?
That's just like again, that's a very extreme example, but like this is what some people do for the holidays.
Yeah.
Now, anyone rational is probably listening and being like, you two are the most selfish pricks in the entire fucking world. And I would argue you're probably correct. We are being selfish and unreasonable.
Yes,
it's our podcast.
If you don't like it, get your own podcast.
And I'm going to bitch about holidays.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's totally fair.
Like, it's fucking chaos, man. Like, because even the simplest of logistics. Drive to Medford. Mm-hmm. Okay. Drive to Burlington. Fine. That's probably a 2-car trip because when we leave Burlington, we can just hop on 95 and end up back in Milton.
Right.
Oh, you're not going to drive back to Medford first? No, it's out of the way.
Yeah, it's kind of out of the way.
It's completely out of the way. Couldn't be more out. Like, actually, it could be more out of the way, but for something that's on a direct line back, it's very out of the way. I don't know how mathematically that one happened.
Yeah.
So no. I'll go to the house beforehand. I'm not going back to the house after. And my mother doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if she knows that yet. I forget if I told her. But all I'll say, I go, it's easier for us to get back. Oh, yeah, you're right. I am right.
Yeah, I don't say things unless I'm right.
But I'm like, even the simplest logistic of going to the restaurant.
Yeah.
It's like, yep, separate car. It's like, oh God.
Yeah.
I'm thinking for Christmas, where are we gonna go? Because if I'm doing it the Saturday before Christmas, can't be a mall.
Right.
Too busy.
Takes legals out of the equation.
Takes assembly out of the equation.
Yeah.
Like to the point my mother's like, well, maybe we just go to Kelly's. I go, Mom, we are not going to
Oh
fucking
God.
Kelly's.
Oh my God.
I go, as
Yeah.
much as I tolerate Kelly's, like you want to do Easter at Kelly's, like pick up the food and go. Like, I'm good. I'm down. Like
Right.
I'm good. I am not going to fucking Kelly's for Christmas. Fuck that.
Go to Chipotle.
Yeah. She goes, it would be easy. I go, I'm not gonna argue with that one. That would be easy. I go, no, let's find a fucking restaurant. Like, just something fucking easy.
Yeah.
But even that, nothing's easy. It's a Saturday before Christmas. It's gonna be
Right.
so much
And
fucking traffic to
you're
and
gonna
from.
probably need reservations somewhere.
Yeah,
right?
that's fine. She'll make them. She's good about that because that was the thing.
Yeah.
Is like she found a spot. They had reservations. She shot me one email. I said fine, and she goes done.
I think I mean, I don't know what's over there now, but I think Exchange Street in Malden used to have some pretty decent restaurants.
We'll see. I'm not doing this yet.
Yeah. I used to love the Exchange Street Bistro. I don't know if it's still there or not, but they made a bolognese with wild boar. That was fucking good.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it was really
I don't think I
fucking
know.
good.
I don't know Malden at all.
Yeah, we never really ventured over there. In
What the fuck
those
was
are
over
like
there?
parts unknown. There
Honestly, what
really
was
was
over
nothing
there?
in Malden.
Town Line.
Yeah. Club Rain.
That was right next door, right?
Yeah. Yeah, where everyone got fucking stabbed and shot all the time. It's been like 7 different names over the course of like 20 years because it keeps getting shut down.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, Malden Stop and Shop.
Yeah, I mean there was nothing there. Like we spent most of our time in
No, but I cut through it a lot.
like
Maybe that was
Arlington, Winchester, Somerville. But like the shitty parts of Somerville, like we we were always in like fucking uh over by what, like Trump Field and Tavern on the Hill.
I didn't go over there a ton.
The That's where Chris broke his fucking wrist. Remember that? He was playing basketball at Trump Field. I think he fell and broke his fucking hand, broke his hand or broke his wrist or something.
He broke his foot one time.
Or maybe that's
he
what
broke his
happened.
foot at the beach.
Oh,
Like 4 minutes after getting there. What a disaster.
He's got a kid now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Actually, before we wrap things up, I do have something that's like relatively topical that it's kind of quick, but it's kind of like a fuck you on our vein of I hate everything that this show has been. So anyone that doesn't know football, typically on Monday Night Football, they have 2 different broadcasts. They have the standard broadcast on ABC, which is now Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. They poached them from Fox. But those are your stock standard Monday Night Football announcers. And then on ESPN2, they have Peyton Manning and Eli Manning. then they do like goofy shit, right? It's kind of like a watch along. It's almost like a podcast when they're watching the the football game, basically. And they have guests come on in different segments and shit like that, whatever. They do goofy shit. They have a good time though, right? It's the two brothers and they have fun. Um so last night on Monday Night Football, um it was the Chiefs and the Eagles, and they had Michael Vick on as a guest. And didn't think anything of it. I personally don't watch the ESPN2 broadcast. I prefer Joe. I actually like Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. I think ESPN kind of shot themselves in the foot because they did the ESPN2 Manning cast last year when they had fucking, I don't know, like Booger McFarlane and like some shitbag on the fucking doing whatever. It was garbage. So they were like, all right, let's do the Manning cast and it'll like fix our ratings. And then now they have the Manning cast, and now they actually have good announcers in Buck and Aikman. And it's like, I have no desire to watch the Manning cast because you have good announcers, but whatever. That's a side note. So on the Manning cast last night, they had Michael Vick. And like I said, I didn't watch it, so I don't know how long he was on for. But today on Twitter, holy shit, the amount of people that were just ripping, whether it was ESPN or Peyton Manning and Eli Manning, how dare you? Michael Vick kills dogs. Someone should take a picture of Michael Vick and hold up their dog next to the TV. Like all of this shit. It's like, what the fuck is your problem? This guy literally went to jail. He went to jail and served hard time in prison. And he was released and he came back to the NFL and he's rehabbed his life, right? He's kind of he's turned his shit around. Like he did the crime, he did his time. Like let it the fuck go. And this is coming from someone that loves animals. I love my dog. That's another throwback. But right, like, and I do, right? I do love my dog. Like, I love all dogs or most dogs. But like, I hold no ill will towards Michael Vick because I don't care. He ran a fucking pit bull dog fighting ring. Okay, like, yeah, that's awful. And those dogs were fucking beaten and it lived terrible lives, but it's over. And he went to jail for it. And he got out of jail. Right? Like he's a normal person. He's allowed to be a person and do things that people are allowed to do without people trying to cancel fucking Peyton Manning for talking to him on a broadcast. For all I know, he was on for like 4 minutes, right? Like I have no idea how long he was on the show for. But like you would think that like, he fucking killed a dog live on air. Like while he was on the fucking Manning cast. Like it's insane. So people need to fucking grow up and move on because it's ridiculous that you're still going after Michael Vick all these years later.
Yeah, I mean, I with him specifically, I feel as though he did the proper punishment for what he did. Now, what he
Right.
did was fucking brutal.
It's terrible, right?
Would never condone it. Don't love that he did it. But ultimately, people fuck up. Because truth be told, he might have only been like 27 years old at the time.
Yeah.
Like when he went to jail. Like that's not that old. So people
Right.
fuck up, some bigger than others. I feel as though he served his sentence. And what else can the guy do?
Right.
Now you can still hate him. You can still dislike what he did.
Right.
But like how long can you really keep that going for?
Yeah, he went to jail in 2008.
Okay, so he's probably 30, but like still that's a
Uh,
young person.
28. He was born in 1980.
Oh shit. When the fuck did he get drafted? He got drafted in 2001?
Yes.
Oh, my math sucks.
Yeah.
8 minus 1 is 9. Yep.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah, that's that new math.
Yeah, yeah. I did old math. That's why it's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, so he went to
He's
jail in
28 years old.
2008. That was literally 15 years ago.
Yep. And he served 21 months in prison.
Yeah.
There are people who have done worse things and served less time in jail.
Yeah.
Or no time in jail.
He also lobbied, which means donated money to and spent time with politicians in 2011 for the Animal Fighting Spectator Prohibition Act, which established a federal misdemeanor penalty for spectators of illegal animal fighting, making it a felony for adults to bring children to fights. The law passed in 2012.
And I
So like
also
it's not like he did his time, got out, and like was remained a shitbag. Like he was like, okay, I see what I did was wrong. And he spent time and money getting the government to create laws, right? Or acts, however you want to call them, that go against animal fighting.
I also think he did some things like in the meantime too. Like I don't know if it was foundations, I don't know if it was shelters, I don't know what it was, but I do think he like did some stuff
Yeah.
that was on the whole positive. Now again, what he did sucked, and but I mean again, we
And I
have
agree.
we have and we but this is the thing is
But we also like
we have
have to
penalties and
move
a
on.
process in this country.
Yes.
He went through the process, he served his penalty. There's not a whole lot more we can do here.
Right. Yeah. And
It's
it's
not like
like,
OJ that never served his
yeah,
time.
yeah, exactly. Well,
Like,
he served time for stealing
yeah,
things.
for something else or
Yeah.
aggravated a fucking
Yeah.
robbery, whatever he did.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what people want. They want you to erase like time.
Yeah. Yeah. They want him to be fucking Thanos snapped out of
Yeah.
existence.
Go back and undo everything you did. It's like ain't no fucking gimme backsies here.
Right. Right. And it's like most people, right? Most people that go to jail and serve their time and get out, like they did what they needed to do to fix themselves, right? Now the what is it? The rate of recidivism or whatever it's called is relatively high for a lot of people. And in that case, like the people that go to jail for something, they get out and they remain shitbags and go back to jail. Okay, well, fuck them, right? Like
Yeah, like if you're
those,
like but that's the thing, if you're in and out all the time for the
right,
same stuff,
right. Fuck
or
them.
it's like if
That's how
you
I
get
say.
acquitted of murder charges, then you go and kill someone else and then get found guilty of murder. It's like,
Yeah, yeah,
what the fuck?
yeah, yeah. But there's certainly certain things, right, that you can go to jail for, get out, and you can turn your life around. And I feel like the general public should be like, okay, yeah, you went to jail this one time for this thing, but like clearly you're a different person now and you've grown and you fixed whatever you know was wrong, and like you're good and we're cool. And we don't have to be like, I want to Thanos snap you out of existence. But there's other people that deserve to be Thanos snapped.
Yeah, because they either don't pay the penalty or they don't learn from what they did.
Right. Right. Or the crime is like disgustingly heinous, like the
Yeah, way
like
too egregious.
fucking like the Manson family or something. You know what I mean? Like a Charles Manson or like a fucking Jeffrey Dahmer or
Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein. like those type of stuff. Like, yeah, no, you're done.
Yeah, that's why you get life.
Right. Right. But yeah. Well, on that note, you want to wrap things up?
We can wrap this up.
All right. What do you got?
Did you ever do scent sports in college? Or I guess it would have been high school.
Um, no, I didn't.
So scent sports was a website where you could sign up. They put 10 cents in your account and you could place bets with it. And
Oh,
it was
wait a
like,
second. I think I did.
and the key was you had to take your 10 cents. And if you got over $20, you could
Yeah.
start to cash out.
Yeah, I think I do remember this now.
All right. I never got to $20. I don't know how close I ever came. But the thing was, like, when like you got the 10 cents in your account, and then when you drained it, they put the 10 cents back in. And like
Right.
you just kept like kind of you effectively just tried to keep doubling your money, which you were never going to do because again, I don't have a calculator in front of me. I don't know how many 10 cents in bets in a row you need to hit to get to 20.
Yeah. It's all like the
But
10K challenge.
right. So I don't know what like again, I don't know what that math is, but like you weren't going to do that. No way.
Right.
But I was thinking about that the other day because Cunty Chris he goes, I got 46 cents in my account. I just put it on like something. I'm like, oh shit, that reminds me of the cent sports days. Because you'd
Yeah.
have 10, and with the juice, you'd have 19. And if you hit that, you'd have 28, like
Yeah.
38, whatever. But
Or you
yeah,
can get wild, take an underdog.
what was the thing? I forget if you could do parlays and shit. Probably not
I
because
don't think
God,
you could do
no,
parlays,
because
but
God forbid you hit one.
yeah.
But yeah, it's just like trying to roll it over.
Yeah.
Never did it. I think did I know someone who did? I don't know if I did,
Yeah. I
but
don't know.
good times. Good times.
um, all right. So what do I let's do this is pretty funny. So this is actually a very funny story. So we just got a new client actually at work, and they are a rather large financial institution. They shall remain nameless for anonymity's sake. I suppose it's not that difficult to figure out, or at least narrow it down, depending on like which large financial institutions are, based in the Northeast. But regardless, we won a project for them, and now we are in the process of being onboarded into their system, which requires, a background check. I had to go get fingerprinting, because again, it's a financial institution. It's like a very legitimate, massive financial institution that like it's nationwide. Um, and so as in my current role, right, as the senior project manager, I'm going to be on most projects, or I at least need access to all projects, right, depending on just like circumstances and whatever. So although I'm not going to be directly on this project, like I still needed to go through the process of being onboarded and like get a badge and all that stuff. So we get the information that we need, and I needed to go to like a UPS store in like Cumberland, Rhode Island to get fingerprinted. So I did that last week, and I think what's today, Tuesday. So on Friday, I think it was, I get an email back um, from this company that says, we have found an alert that or we found a record in the system that matches your identification or you whatever, like identification profile or something. Please see the attached information and reply to this email to confirm that you've received it, and or if you would like to dispute what was found. So I go, oh fuck. So I click on it. It's a copy of a rap sheet from the FBI database that has my name on it, my date of birth, everything that belongs to me, and it says March 17th, 2012, Bridgewater, Massachusetts. And then underneath it says like booking or whatever, and I think it gives like whatever the booking number is, and then it goes underneath that it says minor in possession of alcohol. And I read this email and I go, oh fuck. Yep, that's me. That's for sure me. So I go like, and I'm sitting at my computer and I just start laughing. And Amy is sitting on the couch in the room and she's like, what are you laughing at? And I go, I think I just failed a background check. So it's just hilarious. So I now have to message my boss, who like my boss and I are cool. Like we have a really good relationship. Like he's a good guy. And I go, hey, so this is potentially a really funny story, but I think I might have just failed the background check for, this company. And he responded with, oh boy. So I forwarded him the email and I go, hey, I just forwarded you what I got. It doesn't say that like I've failed or anything. They're just telling me that they found a record. And I go, full disclosure, like you can see it on the rap sheet. Like I was arrested in 2012 in college for a minor in possession of alcohol. And I was like, the case was continued without a finding. And it's never come up on any background check ever. I've had hundreds of background checks, right? Like I needed to pass a background check to have my current job. I needed to pass a background check to work at a different financial institution that's also in this region, right? Like I have to pass background checks all the time. I had to pass a background check at my previous job to pass a Corey check. Like I've been Corey checked hundreds of times, right? All of these things. It's never once come up. And now this one time it came up. And I'm like, wow, like they must use like the actual FBI database, which is why the heading on the piece of paper said FBI database. And I was like, wow, so they found it. So like the FBI obviously knows that I got arrested in 2012, but like no one else knows. Or like, however, like because it's a quaff, like this is a question for Sexy Chris, but like because it's a quaff, like it doesn't show up on certain things, but whatever kind of background check,
it doesn't go away entirely.
Right, it doesn't go away for entirely, like, but it doesn't like, it doesn't pop up somewhere or something. But so yeah, I mean, I had a friend that, well, actually one of my roommates in college ended up being a cop, and he was saying once that it has to do with the BOP, something called a BOP. Like they can run that and it'll show up on that. But if you just run like a generic whatever check on my name, it won't show up or something. I don't know. But yeah, so that's what I mean. Like this is when I say like they're a large financial institution, like you see commercials for them on fucking NFL Sunday. Like they're very large. So because of that, I would imagine they have to use the federal database, which is why they go through the FBI. And yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a badge for this company and ever be allowed in one of their buildings. Because 11 years ago, actually almost 12 years ago, I got arrested as a 20-year-old on St. Patrick's Day, right? March 17th, 2012, because we had a St. Patrick's Day party in my dorm room. And because it was my room, me and my roommate at the time, shout out to Mike Montiel, we both got arrested because it was our room.
Good times.
Yeah. So, I mean, my boss laughed about it. He was like, that's fucking hilarious. He was like, he goes, that is actually kind of funny. He goes, I can't imagine they're going to deny you a badge because of that. He was like, but we'll see. So, yeah. he had made another joke. He was like, well, at least you're not a felon, right? And I was like,
That's
yeah,
a
I mean, I'm
start.
not hiding anything. So, yeah, funny story there when you have to do an FBI level
Yeah.
background check. That will pop up. And it's one of those things too where like I've always been like open about it, right? Like when I have to file my LTC paperwork, which I actually just filed a renewal for, there's a box on there. Have you ever been arrested for whatever? Like, there's a lot of questions. One of them is, have you ever been convicted of a felony? Have you ever had
Yeah.
a violent crime or domestic violence or been a part of a restraining order? Like, there's a bunch of questions you have to ask, and one of them is, have you ever been arrested of like a misdemeanor or something like that? And I always check yes. And then in the space down below, it says what, like, provide details. I go, March 2012, minor in possession of alcohol, Bridgewater, Mass. Like, that's what I write. That's literally what I just wrote the other day. So, and it doesn't stop me from getting my LTC, right? So, but yeah, it might stop me from being a part of this financial company.
That would be pretty good.
Yeah, that's a funny one. Now, that's one of those that like my boss would laugh at, but like my boss's boss, I don't think would find it that funny. I mean, she might, but it's like one of those where it's like, okay, now I'm a little embarrassed. But like my direct boss is cool. He's like, yeah, whatever. You'll be fine. He even said, like I said, he goes, I can't imagine they would not allow you because of that. So we'll see.
We
It's
will.
one of those things when people are like, oh, when you're a kid, your actions have consequences. It's like, well, kind of. I've never had an issue with that up until right now.
Well, here you are. Now you're that bill's come due.
Yeah. But it is funny too, not to keep dragging it out, but prior to this job, when I was still working at Compass, like when I wanted to quit the first time, not the second time when I actually did quit, or the third time, I think, whatever that was. Like, I was talking because Derek and I wanted to see if we could become cops, and Chris was like, yeah, you're probably not going to get hired. And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, well, I mean, you ever been arrested? And I was like, yeah, but it was a quaff. And he goes, yeah, you're probably not going to get hired. And then obviously, like, talking on the show about like using steroids, like I think that's one of the questions that they ask you during a polygraph. So it's like, well, yeah, I did. And then they're like, yeah, you can't be a cop.
But could you be a firefighter?
Probably.
Because remember, everyone loves them.
Yeah, everyone loves firefighters. They're the real heroes. Them and teachers. So, all right. Well, that's going to do it for us, folks here. So thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe up above. If you also hate Thanksgiving and you hate turkey and all of that, smash the like button down below. Even if you do and you think we're stupid, fuck it. Just hit the like button anyway. Why not? If you're an audio only guy, you can still subscribe wherever you're at. If you use Apple or Spotify, you can leave us a review and 5 stars. So if you did that, that would be a massive help. I would appreciate it. You can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. Twitter is sarcasm_speaks. Facebook is Sarcasm Speaks. Website, sarcasmspeaks.com. You go to the merch store, buy some merch, and then go to noonbrew.com. and use the promo code in the show notes to get 10% off your order every single time you check out over there. And what else? MyBookie.com. We're talking about betting. It's not Sense Sports, it's MyBookie.com. You use the promo code Sarcasm Pod when you sign up over there, and they will double your first deposit up to $1,000. So until next time, good night, everybody.